Okay, friends. So in the previous session, we have discussed about what should be the input and the output resistance of a ideal amplifier. Here we have seen that to obtain the maximum voltage gain of the amplifier, the input resistance must be a infinite and output resistance must be a zero. So in this case, you will get a maximum output voltage, or you can say have a maximum voltage gain. So let us see what we have discussed in the previous lecture. So in previous lecture, I have considered a amplifier as a black box. This is my amplifier circuit. It's there. It has an input terminal, and at the input terminal, we are connecting our source, which is providing the voltage Vs, and the source has the resistance Rs. Then this amplifier is offering a input resistance to the source, which is known as ARI. Then due to this input resistance, here there is a flow of a current, and due to this flow of this input current, we have this input voltage across the input terminal of the amplifier circuit. Then we have considered a output. So in the output, we have a load resistance RO is there, and there is a flow of a current, output current. Due to that, we have this output voltage across this load. Now we have considered that whatever the amplifier circuit we have, it has a active device. It contains a active device like a transistor. Then this transistor will work as a kind of a voltage source, and this voltage source has a resistance which is known as a output resistance of the amplifier circuit. Then whatever the maximum voltage is provided by the transistor, that voltage will be given as K into Vi. What is K? That is the amplification factor of your given active device. And whatever the input voltage is there, it is going to be multiplied by K, and this much amount of the maximum voltage will be provided by the transistor. Sometimes it is also known as a open circuit voltage. K into Vi is known as a open circuit voltage. Remember. Correct? Now here in this case, we have calculated what is the input voltage. Input voltage is given as Vi is equal to Vs into Ri divided by Ri plus Rs. So naturally here the input voltage is less than my signal voltage Vs, and therefore the output voltage of the amplifier is also going to decrease. Then we have defined the gain of the amplifier. Gain of the amplifier is given as a output voltage to the input voltage. That is the gain of the internal amplifier. But if I will consider a overall gain of the amplifier, then it is written as a AVS is equal to output voltage divided by my source voltage Vs. That is the actual input given to the amplifier circuit. Correct? And this is written as, that last I already mentioned, that is a VO by Vi into a Vi by Vs. What is VO by Vi? It is my gain of the internal amplifier. And what is the Vi by Vs? That you can calculate from this formula, and it is given as Ri divided by Ri plus Rs. So here, due to the input resistance and the source resistance, here due to this input resistance and the source resistance, the gain of the amplifier is going to decrease. So if you want a maximum gain of the amplifier, then the Ri must be a infinite, or a source resistance must be as low as possible. In that case, you can obtain a maximum voltage gain. Then we have discussed about a output resistance. So here in this output resistance, this output voltage is given as a K into Vi, that is my open circuit voltage, into RO divided by RO plus RO dash. And from that we can write what is the gain of the amplifier. So VO by VI is equal to K into RO divided by RO plus RO dash. And here this voltage gain is going to depend on your output resistance of the amplifier. So due to that output resistance, the gain of the amplifier is going to decrease. But if I want a maximum voltage gain, then the RO dash must be a 0. And in that case, you will get here, if the RO dash, that is the output resistance of the amplifier, is 0 or minimum, then we have a voltage gain, AV will be equal to a K, that is the maximum voltage. So this was thing we have discussed in the previous lecture. Now today we will solve some numerical based on this formula, correct? So let us see the numericals. So what is the first numerical? The input voltage to an audio amplifier is 25 millivolt. Oscilloscope connected across a 1 mega ohm resistor in series with the input to the amplifier indicates 1 volt peak to peak. If the voltage across the 10 kilo ohm load is 3.5 volt, then determine current voltage and power gain of the amplifier. So first of all, you have to read the problem, and then you have to imagine the circuit, that what is connected and what kind of the data is given to you. So here you can say that the amplifier is there, this amplifier, correct? Then here the input voltage to an amplifier is 25 millivolt. So that input voltage is here. This VI is equal to 25 millivolt. And here we have a input resistance of the amplifier, that is Ri. Now an oscilloscope connected across a 1 mega ohm resistor in series with the input to the amplifier indicates 1 volt peak to peak. Means here whatever my source is there, this voltage source is there, it is connected in series with the 1 mega ohm resistance. Here we have a 1 mega ohm resistance. And the oscilloscope connected. Now what is the oscilloscope? Oscilloscope is a kind of a measuring instrument, like a voltmeter. Voltmeter is measuring the AC voltage, DC multimeter if you have, it is measuring the voltage. But when you are measuring the AC voltage, it will give you a voltage in a RMS. But if you want to measure the voltage with the peak value or the peak to peak value, then we have a kind of an instrument which is known as a oscilloscope. So on the oscilloscope, you can see the waveform also. Remember, on the oscilloscope there will be a screen, and whatever the signal is there, what is the shape of the signal, that you can see, as well as you can measure the peak to peak voltage. Oscilloscope is a kind of an instrument where you can measure the periodic time, frequency, the phase, as well as the amplitude of the signal. Now in laboratory you will see what is the oscilloscope. So if I am connecting the oscilloscope across the 1 mega ohm, then the voltage across this is a 1 volt peak to peak. Correct? Then what is given? If the voltage across the 10 kilo ohm load, here, this is my load, that is RO, is given a 10 kilo ohm, and the voltage across this is a 3.5 volt. Then determine the current voltage and the power gain of the amplifier. Correct? So here if you note down some data, then What is given? That is RS. You can say RS is 1 mega ohm. Then my input voltage is 25 millivolt. Output voltage is a 3.5 volt, and the load resistance is given a 10 kilo. So these were things are given to you. Now you have to measure a current gauge. Remember that first of all we will have a current gauge. And what is the current gain? It is a ratio of a output current to the input current. Output current to the input current. So how will you measure the output current? Now for the output current means whatever the current is flowing here. Correct? This output current you can calculate with the help of this output voltage and the output resistance. So my output current I can write as I is equal to V is equal to I into R. So I will be equal to V by R. So we have a output voltage divided by output resistance. This is 3.5 volt and the resistance is given a 10 kilo ohm. So here if you calculate, then this will come out to be a 0.35 milliampere. Correct? Now we have to calculate the input current, I. And for this input current, remember, input current directly is you cannot because here the input value of the input resistance is not given. Value of the input resistance is not given, so you cannot calculate the input current. But I can calculate the input current in a different way. This input current is passing through this a 1 mega ohm resistance. And when it is passing, then it produces the voltage drop of 1 volt peak to peak. Okay? So from that we can calculate the input current, and this input current we can write as a 1 volt peak to peak divided by the resistance value is 1 mega ohm, so it is a 10⁶. You can say it is a 1 microampere peak to peak, because this 10⁶ will be a 10⁻⁶, so that is representing a microampere. Now here, this output current is in the form of the RMS, remember, but the input current is in the form of a peak to peak value. So either you convert both the value in a peak to peak, or you convert into a RMS. So here we will convert this peak to peak value into a RMS value, and for that I have to divide by 1 microampere. Peak to peak will be divided by 2√2. Remember that already we have discussed in the first lecture that the peak to peak value when you divide by 2 will come out to be a peak value. Again when you divide by √2 will be a RMS value. So here you will calculate, then this will come out to be a roughly a 0.35 microampere. Okay? So we have calculated the output current as well as the input current. So I can calculate the current gain of the amplifier is IO by II is 0.35 milliampere divided by 0.35 microampere, and this will comes out to be 1000, because this is 10⁻⁶ and microampere 10⁻⁻⁶, 0.35 35 will be cancelled, and the current gain of the amplifier is 1000. Correct? Now let us see what is the voltage gain. So the second one, voltage gain. Voltage gain is AV. It is the ratio of a output voltage by a input voltage. Correct? Output voltage is already given to you. It is a 3.5 volt, and the input voltage is your 25 millivolt. 25 millivolt. And here if we calculate this, then this will be a 140. Here you have to convert this millivolt into volt by multiplying the 10 raised to minus 3. Correct? And the voltage gain directly you can have a 140. Then the power gain is simple. Third one, that is the power gain. We know that the power gain is given as AV into AI. My voltage gain is 140 multiplied by 1000. That already we have calculated here. Correct? So this is the power gain 140 into 10 raised to 3. Now power gain, the voltage gain doesn't have a unit, so this is the power. So here we have calculated current gain, voltage gain and the power gain of the amplifier. Now second one, what is the amplifier's input resistance? Amplifier input resistance. So according to the definition, Ri is equal to Vi by Ii. Vi by Ii. And what is my input voltage? It is a 25 millivolt. And we have calculated the input current. That input current is a 0.35 microampere. Remember, here already we have calculated the input current. So this will input resistance will comes out to be a 71 kilo. 71 kilo. Now what you have to calculate? The overall gain of the amplifier. Remember, here whatever the voltage gain we have calculated, that is the internal. Overall means I have to take the ratio of a output voltage divided by the source voltage. So overall gain of the amplifier is known as AVS, that is the ratio of VO by VS. And we already know it is given as AV into Ri divided by Ri plus Rs. Okay? AV is 140. Then input resistance, just now we have calculated, that is 71 kilo divided by 71 kilo plus Rs is 1 mega ohm. 1 mega ohm means what? It is a 1000 kilo ohm. Here remember, otherwise here if you will not convert the mega into kilo, then you will get the difficulty for the addition of the two resistance value. So either you convert the 71 kilo ohm into a mega, or you can convert the 1 mega into a kilo ohm. So this is my 1000 kilo ohm itself. And here if you calculate this with the help of a calculator, then your answer will come out to be a 9.28. I think so. With this example, your idea about the input and the output resistance of the amplifier is going to be clear. Correct? Now let us see the next example. And amplifier's open circuit output voltage is 10 volt peak to peak. When the load is 10 kilo ohm, is connected, the output voltage drop to a 8 volt peak to peak. Determine the amplifier's output resistance. So here this example is related with the output resistance of the amplifier. So here we have this amplifier. This amplifier is connected to a load RO, and that is my 10 kilo ohm. Correct? And here, if we see, it's in output resistance and the open circuit voltage is there. This is my RO dash, and this is your K into VI. Correct? Already mentioned, what is a K into VI? It is a open circuit voltage. Why it is called a open circuit voltage? So, here when you are opening this circuit, means you are not connecting the load. At that time, this voltage across this will be a K into VI. Because the load is not connected, so the current I0 will be A0. Means whatever the input voltage is there, this voltage will be appear across this output. That's why it is called a open circuit voltage. Remember. So here, if we see that RO is my 10 kilo ohm. So here we note down RO is 10 kilo ohm, and the open circuit voltage KVI is given to you a 10 volt peak to peak. Correct? And the voltage across this means my output voltage is a 8 volt peak to peak. And what we have to calculate? What is the output resistance of the amplifier circuit RO dash? So here, this is the output voltage VO. And just now we have discussed that output voltage of the amplifier is given as K into VI into RO divided by RO plus RO dash. Okay? You can apply the potential divider rule. So the voltage across RO will be equal to my total voltage, that is the K into VI, into across which you are going to calculate the voltage, that resistance divided by total resistance. And now from this you can calculate what is RO dash. So here we can write that the RO plus RO dash divided by RO will be equal to RO plus RO dash divided by this is equal to K into VI by VO. Correct? So here this is A1 plus RO dash by RO is K into VI by VO. And what is my K into VI? That is the open circuit voltage is a 10 volt peak to peak. And what is the output voltage? It is a 8 volt peak to peak. 10 by 8. So here we can have a 5 by 4. This is ratio comes up to be 5 by 4. So the RO dash by RO will be equal to a 5 by 4 minus 1 and this will be a 1 by 4. So the RO dash is equal to 1 by 4 into RO, and that is 1 by 4 into a 10 kilo ohm, and your answer will come out to be 2.5 kilo ohm. Here you can see it is a 2.5 kilo. This is one of the method. Remember, means if you know the formula, then you can calculate what is the output resistance. Otherwise, you can apply the Ohm's law or Kirchhoff's law. Then directly also you can calculate what is the output resistance. That also I will discuss here. See, what is the another method? That here the output voltage is given to you a 8 volt peak to peak. Output resistance is given to you, so you can calculate the what is the output current. So The another method we are calculating the output current. IO is equal to what? It is a VO divided by RO. VO divided by RO, and this one is a 8 volt peak to peak divided by RO is a 10 kilo. Correct? So here this will come out to be a 0.8 milliampere. 0.8 milliampere means I am calculating what is the output current. Now this output current is passing through the resistance RO dash. Correct? So it will produce a voltage. It is going to produce a voltage. Now what will be this voltage? That voltage you can read from this problem. Here open circuit voltage is a 10 volt peak to peak. Remember, this voltage across this is your 8 volt peak to peak. It is a 8 volt peak to peak. Means the voltage across RO dash will be a 2 volt peak to peak. Open circuit voltage is 10 volt. The output voltage is 8 volt. Means the drop across the output resistance of the amplifier will be a 2 volt peak to peak. So I can calculate the output resistance RO dash is equal to a voltage across this, that is 2 volt peak to peak divided by a current. So that current is a 0.8 milliampere peak to peak. Remember, this current is in peak to peak because my voltage is also a peak to peak. And the 2 volt divided by 0.8 milliampere. So this will comes out to be a 2.5 kilo ohm. Okay? So here you don't require to remember any formula. Directly with the common sense, by applying a Ohm's law, you can calculate what is the output resistance of the amplifier. Okay? Okay. Now, third example. Given amplifier is capable of presenting three different input resistance: 200 ohm, 50 kilo ohm, and 1 mega ohm. Remember, here what is given? That this amplifier can have, means by setting some circuit, that it can offer a 200 ohm or a 50 kilo ohm or a 1 mega ohm. So my first input resistance Ri1 is a 200 ohm. My second input resistance is a 50 kilo ohm, and the third one is a 1 mega ohm. If the amplifier's power gain is 1000, here the power gain is given to you 1000, and the voltage gain AV is given 100. Determine the which input to use to provide maximum power output and which to provide maximum output voltage for a low impedance microphone of 500 ohm. Means at the input of the amplifier, microphone is connected and its source resistance, you can say RS is given a 500 ohm, and the source voltage and the source voltage, that is the open circuit voltage. So Vs is given. This microphone is providing a open circuit voltage of a 20 millivolt. So what is the problem here? That which input resistance I have to use to get the maximum output power, and which input I have to use to get a maximum output voltage. Correct? So here for three different values of the input resistance, I have to calculate the output power and the output voltage. Then only I can decide that the which input I have to consider. Correct? And for that, here we will calculate. Remember, here I will calculate for the Ri1 is equal to 200 ohm and Ri3 is equal to, means I am taking a one minimum value of the input and maximum value of the input. And from these two calculations are sufficient to decide, because the middle one is in between two values, so we can decide that the which input I have to use for the maximum power gain in the voltage gain. Okay, so first of all here if you see the power gain is given to you, voltage is given to you, then naturally your current gain will be equal to 10. Correct? Because the AP is equal to what? AV into AI. And from that, here we can calculate the AI is equal to 10. Now, we will have a calculation. First of all, here, the calculation for Ri1 is equal to a 200 ohm. Then, and the same way, you can calculate for the Ri3 equal to a 1 mega ohm. Okay? So, to calculate this, we will have to calculate what is the input voltage, because I have to calculate the output voltage. So, for the output voltage, we should know what is the input voltage. So, input voltage of the amplifier, if you remember, here just now we have discussed that this input voltage is given as Vs into Ri divided by Ri plus Rs. Correct? So, what is my source voltage? Source voltage is a 20 millivolt. What is my input resistance? I am taking input resistance of a 200 ohm. Then divided by a Ri plus Rs. So the Rs is 500. So 200 plus 500. And you can calculate this value. So this input voltage will comes out to be a 5.7 millivolt. 5.7 into 10 is to minus 3, or you can say 5.7 millivolt. So once I am calculating the input voltage, then I can calculate the output voltage. Okay? So how will you calculate this output voltage? Output voltage is given as a voltage gain into a input voltage. Voltage gain is 100. And my input voltage is 5.7 millivolt. So this output voltage of the amplifier will comes out to be a 0.57 volt. Okay. Now we have to calculate the output power. So output power is what? It is the product of the output voltage and the output current. Then I have to calculate what is the output current. And for calculating the output current, I have to calculate what is the input current. So input current means it is a ratio of I is equal to V by R. So it is a VI by RI. VI is VI we have calculated, it is a 5.7 millivolt, and my RI I have to consider a 200 ohm. Correct? So that will give you the input current, and this input current will comes out to be a 28.57 microampere. You can use the calculator for finding this ratio. Only thing is that you should know what is the method. So once you have calculated the input current, then I can find out what is the output current. It is a current gain into a input current. So the current gain is a 10 multiplied by 28.57 microampere. So you can say 285.7 microampere. So now what will be the power gain? The power gain we can write or output power. Then output power PO1. I will write, why I am writing PO1? Because I am calculating for the RI1. So it is a output voltage into output current, and the voltage is 0.57 multiplied by 285.7 microampere, and this power roughly it will come out to be a 163 microwatt. This is a 163 microwatt. Now the same kind of the calculation we have to do it for another value of the input resistance, correct? And that is a 1 megaohm. So let us see how we can do it. So these are my calculation. Remember, these are the calculation for Ri1 is equal to 200 ohm. Now we will do it for Ri3 is equal to a 1 mega ohm. Same way, we have to calculate what is my input voltage. Input voltage is Vs into Ri divided by Ri plus Rs, and this will be a 20 millivolt. Now my input resistance is 1 mega ohm, so it is a 10⁶ divided by, or you can write, or we write this as a 1000 kilo ohm divided by Ri is 1000 K plus my input resistance Rs, already you know that is a 500 ohm. Correct? And here if you calculate, then the input voltage comes out to be a 0.0199. So what is the output voltage? That is AV into VI. AV, I think so, it is a 100, so 0.0199. So your output voltage will be a 1.99 volt. Correct? Then what we have calculated? Input current. So input current is a input voltage divided by input resistance, and input voltage is our 0.0199 divided by my input resistance is 1 mega ohm, so it is a 10⁶. So this current is 0.0199 microampere, and then we calculate what is the output current. That is AI into II. AI is 10 and 0.0199 microampere. So here this comes out to be a 0.199 microampere. Same way, what we have calculated for the 200 ohm, same way we are calculating for the 1 mega ohm. So now you will realize what is the output power. Correct? Output power. PO is equal to IO into VO. What is IO? It is 0.199 microampere multiplied by VO is 0.0199 volt. Okay? And this output power will comes out to be a 0.399 microwatt. Okay. So we have calculated the output voltage, output power for two different value of the resistance. Now you can compare the result. So here, first of all, what you have to find out that the which input resistance will provide the maximum power output. Here, when this Ri is equal to 200 ohm, and I have calculated my power output is 163 microwatt. When this Ri is equal to 1 mega ohm, my output power is 0.399 microwatt. Means here, if I want a maximum output power, then I have to use a input resistance of a 200 ohm. So then only means if the amplifier's input resistance is low, you will get a maximum output power. Okay. Then second thing, that to provide a maximum output voltage. So here if you see that output voltage of this is 0.57 volt in case of the 200 ohm. And here for a 1 mega ohm, my output voltage is 1.99. So what this indicates? That if the input resistance is high, then you will get a maximum output voltage. Correct? So 200 ohm, this resistance I have to use for a maximum output power. And this input I have to use for a maximum output voltage. So remember, if you want a voltage gain high, then the input resistance should be large. If you want the power gain high, then the input resistance should be as low as possible. This is the conclusion of your example. Okay. Now we will discuss one more important parameter of an amplifier, which is known as a conversion efficiency. Conversion efficiency. So what is a conversion efficiency? So what kind of the parameter is converted by the amplifier? In the first lecture of the amplifier, I have already discussed that the function of the amplifier. What is that? That here to this amplifier we are connecting a DC voltage. Correct? And due to this DC voltage, there will be a flow of a DC current. And here in the output we have a load RL. Now when we apply a input voltage like this, then we have a large signal in the output. Correct? So whatever the signal is in the output, we call this as a AC power. This AC power is dissipated in the load resistance RL. And the amplifier here, in the amplifier, whatever the active device we have, this active device is converting. Here the battery is providing what kind of the energy? That is the DC energy. Correct? So this amplifier is converting your DC energy into the AC energy. That is the function of the amplifier. Remember. So, how much amount of the DC energy is converted into a AC energy, and that ratio is known as the conversion efficiency of the amplifier. Now, this efficiency can be 25%, 60%, 90% also. So, normally you should design the amplifier in which the conversion efficiency must be as high as possible. So, again I repeat that basically the amplifier is converting my DC energy into a AC energy. So, how much amount of the DC energy is converted into AC energy? It is known as a conversion efficiency of the amplifier. So, we can write that the conversion efficiency eta, that is the ratio of what? That AC power delivered to load RL, because you are getting the AC power in the load resistance, then AC power is dissipating in the load, divided by the DC power from battery or from the supply. And normally we calculate the efficiency in percentage, so it is multiplied by 100. Now, AC power means this thing we can write as A by PAC divided by a PDC multiplied by 100. So, we have to measure what is the AC power in the load and what is the DC power, that the PAC divided by, now PDC, if I want to calculate, I know that my supply voltage is VCC and the current drawn by the amplifier circuit is IDC. Then we can calculate the efficiency with the help of this formula, that the PAC divided by VCC into IDC into 100. So normally this amplifier, now in next semester you will learn that we have a class A, class B, class C amplifiers are there, and this different class of the amplifier has different conversion efficiency. If you take a class A amplifier, then its conversion efficiency here, if I will take a class A amplifier, then the conversion efficiency is only a 25%. If I will take a class B amplifier, that efficiency is around about a 60%. If I will take a class C amplifier, its efficiency is around about a 90%. It is not a fixed value, remember. It can be a 63, here instead of 60, it can be a 63, 65, but it will be around about a 60. So, here the efficiency of the amplifier depends on what kind of the amplifier you are using. Or in other words, you can say how you have biased the transistor. Here, whatever the active device we have, then we are providing a forward bias between the base to emitter voltage, and we are selecting the position of the Q point. The Q point is in the active region, or it is near the cutoff region or the saturation region. Accordingly, the efficiency will be a change. Second thing, the efficiency also depends on the load. How this load or what kind of the load you have connected. It is a resistive load, it is a inductive load, or it is a capacitive load, then efficiency of the amplifier will also change. So that all these things you will learn in a next semester when you learn the different types of the amplifier. In that case also you have to calculate the efficiency. But in general, the efficiency of a amplifier is given as a ratio of a output AC power to the DC power. Correct? Now let us see a simple example based on the conversion efficiency. what is given? A 9-volt transistor radio playing at a full volume draw a 200 milliampere to provide half watt of the signal power to the loudspeaker. Determine the approximate conversion efficiency. So, what is given to you? A 9-volt means my VCC, the battery voltage, battery connected in the radio, that voltage is a 9 volt. Radio playing at a full volume means naturally when you play the radio in a full volume, it will draw the maximum current. If it is playing with a less volume, then it will draw a less amount of the current. So it draw a 200 milliampere current. Means my IDC, the current draw from this battery is a 200 milliampere. And provide the half watt of the signal power. Means my AC power, you can say that is the output power or a AC power is a half watt, it is a 0.5 watt. Then you have to calculate what is the conversion efficiency. So just we have discussed that the efficiency is a ratio of a PAC by a PDC multiplied by 100. Or you can say PAC divided by VCC into IDC multiplied by 100. So my AC output power is given as a 0.5 watt. My VCC is a 9 volt and the DC current is a 200 milliampere. So here the multiply with 100 and this will comes out to be approximately a 27.7%. So this is a low efficiency. Remember. So only a 27% of your DC energy is converted into a AC energy and the rest of the energy is going to be wastage. It is dissipated in the form of a heat or in some other form. But only the useful power is a 27%. Okay? Okay. Now we will see a next example. Same kind of the example is there. A 9-volt battery has a 5 ampere per hour rating. Determine approximately how long a radio will play when delivering a 100 milliwatt at a conversion efficiency of 40 watt. Means what is given? The DC voltage is given, VCC is equal to a 9 volt. And the total current, remember, here the current capacity of your battery is a 5 ampere per hour. Then 100 milliwatt. What is 100 milliwatt? This is my AC power. So 100 milliwatt. Correct? And the conversion efficiency is given a 40 watt. So what is the actual problem? That if we connect a 9 volt battery into a radio, then how long your radio will play? It will play for a 1 hour, 5 hour, 10 hour or 20 hour. And because the efficiency is 40%, so you have to calculate the number of hours. Correct? So first of all we will calculate. That how much DC power is required to play the radio for a 1 hour. And from this formula that the eta is given as a PAC by PDC. So the PDC will be equal to a PAC divided by eta. Correct? And my PAC is a 100 milliwatt and this eta is 40%, means I have to write a 0.4. So the required DC power, will be a 0.25 watt. So in a 1 hour, the radio is going to be consume a 0.25 watt of power, DC power. Okay? Then this battery, remember, this battery is providing what is providing a DC current of 5 ampere per hour. So we can calculate what is the total power. Remember, total power from the battery will be equal to 9 into 5, and that is the 45 watt. Okay? So the total energy of the battery is 45 watt. In 1 hour, 0.25 watt is consumed. Then we can calculate that how much long your radio will play. So we can write that number of hours for which the radio will play will be equal to my total power. You can say the total power of battery divided by 8.25 watt, and that is a 45 watt divided by 0.25, and this will come up to be a 180 hours. So if the efficiency of the radio is 40%, and if we insert the battery of a 9 volt, then your radio will play for a 180 hours.